news is the rating has come out for this game that Shedeur Sanders made his debut in, and some people are like, it was 3 times higher for the Hall of Nielsen. The Sporting News on X, 2.2 million people tuned in to see Sanders play for the Browns against the Carolina Panthers last week. All right. Now, a couple of other things to note. The Hall of Fame game, no other.
The N.F.L. just got slapped awake by something nobody saw coming. Not the analysts, not the scouts, not even the folks who swore they had the draft all figured out. Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up for his first preseason game on Friday night. He stepped in like he owned the whole field and tore down the same league that let him fall all the way to pick 144, 2.2 million viewers, 2.2 million. Think about that for a second. That's not solid for preseason. That's #1 across all TV that night.
The second coming when he was better than expected. The bar was very low, 14 of 23, which is 60%. 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 106.8 passer rating. But it's what, and I agree with this here. I agree. It's what he showed beyond the statistics. Showed himself that he's a leader, but I think people pretty much knew that. I do. I think they pretty much knew that he was a big-time leader, was a personality, wasn't afraid of moments. That, and being calm under pressure, he showed that he was in.
Beating out shows with massive budgets and big-name stars, and this wasn't a holiday weekend or some primetime showdown. This was a random Friday night in August when folks are usually chilling at a bar or sinking deep into a Netflix marathon. But instead, millions of people tuned in, locked in, and refused to blink because everyone suddenly wanted to see this rookie that so many people had already counted out. The wildest part? Shedeur wasn't even supposed to touch the field. He was buried on the depth chart, sitting at 4th string, barely getting scraps of practice reps like he was just another name on a clipboard. Coaches treated him like he was only there to fill space, nothing more.
Currently available in 51.1 million homes. So that's where you're seeing the big ratings difference. I mean, one's available in 70 million more homes, damn near it. All right, so yeah, that's going to make a massive difference. If this game would have been on NBC, Fox, ABC, and I'm talking about Shedeur's debut, and had they had it to do over, they probably would have gotten it on there. I mean, if they realized it was going to draw that kind of a rating on NFL Network, I mean, how the...
Then everything flipped. Injuries hit Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, and out of nowhere, Shedeur gets thrown straight into the fire against Carolina's first-team defense, a unit filled with veterans who were ready to test him fast. And instead of folding, he stepped in with calm confidence, like he'd been waiting his whole life for that exact moment. Most rookies would have cracked under that spotlight. Most fifth-round picks would have just hoped to hit a couple clean throws and walk away without looking shaky. But Shedeur Sanders isn't like the usual rookies, and Friday night blasted that truth loud and clear. Shedeur walked out there and instantly shifted the whole conversation. Not only about Cleveland, but about how the entire draft let a talent like him fall to pick 144. How do teams pass on that and sleep easy afterward?
Has the experience and is actual competent quarterback.
Sports media kept repeating the same thing. Preseason games usually drop under 2 million viewers, and NFL Network's average sits around 1.89 million. But when Shedeur stepped onto that field, those numbers shot up fast. NFL Network, Ohio stations, streaming apps, Buffs fans, every corner tuned in together like it was a major headline game.
Did y'all see about like the business side of it? He gets a percentage of everyone his jersey sales.
Oh yeah,
but everybody's buying them jerseys. And did y'all see the price of tickets for that preseason game after he announced that he was gonna be the starter?
Crazy.
Right on the shipment from $12 to $150.
And you can say it's preseason all you want to. NFL fans do not care about that. They locked in, bro. NFL fans different.
I'm just proud that he went out there and performed. He had a good game.
The clause is called prime equity. This clause gives Sanders a percentage of revenue generated from merchandise, sponsorships, and promotions linked to his name and likeness.
They got an NIL in the NFL.
He's too smart.
Yeah, that's why he got picked so far back, because apparently his agents wanted this.
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe, but let's get into why this game turned into must-see TV. First, it's Shedeur's first real taste of action without Coach Prime running the sideline, And now he's fighting for a spot in Cleveland, a team loaded with quarterbacks like they're collecting them the way Jennifer Lopez collects engagement rings. And that Sanders name sitting on a Browns jersey? People were curious before the broadcast even opened. Reporters felt it too. The headlines were calling it the most watched preseason matchup before a single snap happened. Then Shedeur hit the field and stayed calm in all that preseason chaos like he'd been doing it for years. He finished 14 of 23, tossed 2 touchdowns, picked up almost 20 yards on the ground, and walked away with a clean 106.8 passer rating.
What you wanted to see. I want to see, could he play with poise? Could he throw the ball with conviction? Could he be decisive? Could he go through his progressions? The pocket collapses. Could he take off? He showed me some of everything. I'm the over route, threw it on timing, guy in his face, led him, boom, dropped it right in the bucket. He fit those balls, pressure in his face, the second touchdown, pressure in his face, the first touchdown, the corner slumps off, the flat, the safety is hugging him. He fits it in, gets it in, boom. On the move, the touch pass over the top. As I mentioned at the top, the receiver did make a great play, but Shedeur had a nice loft. That's not an easy throw to make. He was impressive tonight.
If that stat line dropped during the regular season, fans would be going wild, but seeing it in August made it feel even bigger. Meanwhile, the viewership kept rising, turning the Browns quarterback battle into something people suddenly cared about. And honestly, the Browns being interesting at all is rare. Nobody's pulled that off since Jim Brown. Not even Drew Carey pulled that off. And Cleveland fans had every reason to lock in for this one. This is the possible future face of their whole franchise, and the audience didn't just show up from Ohio. Buffs fans, casual college fans, and even people who normally ignore preseason football pulled up to NFL Network for one night. It's rare for one player to spark that kind of heat in August, but Shedeur's debut felt like a full crossover moment that real fans could feel. It was college football energy meeting NFL pressure, wrapped inside the big question everyone kept whispering. Can a Shedeur-led offense work without Coach Prime when the speed jumps to NFL level? The hype from fans and celebrities was unreal. A quick scroll online made it obvious. People weren't just watching, they were locked in and emotionally riding every snap.
That game was in Carolina. The fact that in a preseason opener, you could have a 5th-round draft pick who, when he makes a completion, you can cut away every time to different groups of people in the stands wearing his jersey. His NFL jersey, not the Colorado jersey. Wearing a number 12 Cleveland Browns jersey. That is something we rarely see in the NFL.
Des Bryant blasted out, "Let's go Shedeur Sanders." Reggie Bush dropped, "Give the people what they want." Fans were filling timelines with stuff like, "We will all be tuned in," and calling it the most watched preseason game ever. And this wasn't just Browns fans talking. The hype was nationwide. Even LeBron James had to jump in. "That young man looking good out there. Keep going up. Head down on the grind and head high to the most high," LeBron posted. And when the king of the city co-signs your debut, you know the world just noticed. But the coldest part of this whole story, Shedeur wasn't satisfied at all. After throwing 2 touchdowns and helping seal the win, he had the nerve to say he didn't feel sharp, that he should have been cleaner out there. That wasn't fake humility. That was a real competitor talking, someone who knows this was only chapter 1.
I got pockets of finding my rhythm, and I got to get into that quicker, regardless of anything. But overall, I feel like me out there, and I couldn't do it, of course, without the time. I couldn't do it without the play calling. I couldn't do it without anything. So I'm just thankful to even be able to have, the joy of just being on the field overall, then carrying the responsibility of doing the right thing. So that's 2 badges under my belt already, that I got out there. I feel like we operated the huddle really, really good. So it's just the small details that of course, we practice on and we talk about. And I'll say, of course, towards the end, I'll say we got a little sloppy, and we overall going to finish it up, and that's going to be a point of emphasis going into this next week.
While everybody else was celebrating, he was already thinking about what to fix next. That's real championship DNA. And the on-field performance, straight poise under pressure. His first touchdown was a 7-yard laser to Caden Davis, sliding between 2 defenders like an action scene where everything freezes except the hero. It wasn't just NFL ready, it looked NFL elite, and the scouts who doubted him were probably sweating while watching him cook. His second touchdown was a low 12-yard dart placed exactly where it needed to be.
I said before last college season started that Shedeur Sanders should go number 1 overall. It was either he or Travis, 1, 2, 2, 1, and I would go every time with the quarterback because he is the quarterback. He is him. He is the son of the greatest cornerback and, to me, the greatest athlete ever. Greatness flows through his veins, and I said it all year long. He should go 1 in the draft ahead of Cam.
Shedeur closed his night by steering a third touchdown drive in the third quarter with all eyes glued to him. The former Buffalo standout showed out so well that insiders were reportedly stunned by what they saw. It's early, but wow, people were genuinely stunned by how polished he looked out there. A high-ranking AFC North executive even got a text asking about the Browns rookie once projected as a first-round lock, but Shedeur Sanders didn't get that day 1 or day 2 call, leaving analysts scrambling to understand how team after team ignored him on national TV like they weren't seeing the same tape everyone else saw. By Saturday, Cleveland finally grabbed him with the 6th pick of the 5th round, 144th overall, and that moment already feels like a turning point. Stephen A. Smith had blasted the whole situation during the draft, calling it a damn disgrace and firing off, how in the hell is Shedeur not off the board yet?
You grade your performance today?
I would say a C+.
C+? Why?
Yeah. It's passing. It's passing because we got the win. You know, that's first and foremost, and that's extremely important. But, you know, Pop said, you know, take advantage of the opportunity, and I don't feel like I did. So, you know, I feel like I let him down a little bit. But on the team behalf, I feel like I ran the offense pretty well. I feel like I got to my decisions, and in some things I could have done better, and different process where I could speed my feet up. So, you know, I'm just thankful for the opportunity. I'm happy, you know, we won, but it's definitely still time to go to work.
He went as far as comparing it to Kaepernick being pushed aside, calling the whole thing a disgrace again. Skip Bayless was even louder, and after one preseason performance, he said every team that passed on Shedeur looked flat-out foolish. Shedeur had been projected anywhere from early to mid-first round, yet somehow slipped into Cleveland's hands in the 5th. And now, after one night of work, he's already making people question every scouting department that shrugged him off. Maybe some teams didn't see first-round talent, but there's no world where his skill set should have lasted that long. The numbers back it up. Most preseason games barely get a glance, but this one felt like someone dropped a Super Bowl in the middle of August. The energy around a game that doesn't even count was wild, and the reason was simple. Shedeur Sanders became a symbol of believing in yourself when everybody else counts you out. The massive viewership wasn't just curiosity, it was proof. Colorado fans who watched him rebuild their program, Jackson State fans who watched him run the FCs with no flash needed, they all showed up for him. Shedeur showed the same steady mindset he always had, saying, "I'm still the same guy," staying locked on preparation instead of the noise around him. And here's the real twist. This was only the beginning. It might be preseason, but one huge performance like this can flip the entire Browns quarterback conversation heading into the real games. With the veteran depth shaken by injuries, Shedeur suddenly has a rare shot to claim his spot early. In a league where most rookies get pushed to the side until year 2 or 3, pulling this much attention before taking a single official snap is the kind of moment that starts a whole career.
Sanders impressed the football world in his NFL debut. He went 14-23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns, and bettors have taken notice. In the past 7 days, Shedeur is the most bet player by handle to win Offensive Rookie of the Year with 23% of the money. He's the second most bet player by tickets with 15% of the bets.
Cleveland is going to be careful with him in the preseason, but they know exactly what they're holding. Shedeur Sanders isn't some regular rookie. They've got a ratings magnet, a full storyline, and a quarterback whose name alone can pull millions to the screen. Cleveland finally has something they've never had before, a player who grabs the entire football world at once. And trust, this won't be the last time we see numbers like that tied to him. Honestly, 2.2 million viewers might just be the warm-up act. Shedeur Sanders made the whole NFL look like a pack of doubters who misread everything. And those 2.237 million people tuning in watched him prove it live. They watched the start of something real. They watched a fifth-round pick perform with the calm of a first-round star. They watched the league get hit with a reality check so sharp, it felt like it needed a warning label. People said he wasn't ready. Critics claimed he couldn't handle the heat. Executives decided he wasn't worth a first-round pick. Shedeur didn't argue with anybody. No replies, no back and forth, nothing. He stepped onto that field in Charlotte and let every throw answer for him. This is what happens when 2.2 million people decide they have to see the truth with their own eyes. Shedeur turned a preseason game that wasn't supposed to matter into must-see television, and he did it the only way he knows how, by showing exactly who he is, the truth. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.